Chapter 6. Something is seriously wrong here. I groaned inwardly as I stood on the bridge of my new command, looking forlornly at the tiny space with only 4 duty stations in addition to my command chair. I'd once served as the tactical officer on the expansive bridge of a Hera-class fleet carrier. Persephone's entire bridge could have fit into just the space I'd had for my tactical station there. And it was kind of dirty. Dust covered some of the controls, and there was an unknown grease on one arm of my chair and a weird-looking stain on the floor next to it. I saw Commander Lin blush when she noticed me studying it. Hogue had gotten me mostly sober and on the bridge before the scheduled time for us to depart the station. But semi-sober didn't mean free of a massive migraine that had me squinting at the bright lights on the bridge. XO, tell Gerson Control we are retracting docking clamps and moving away on thruster power. Lin acknowledged my command. I'd learned she included comms officer amongst her many duties on the bridge, and crisply relayed the message. Helm, fire port thrusters at 10%. I commanded, and Yessian confirmed the order after a slight hesitation. I knew what was bothering her. 10% power was a bit much for an undocking procedure. Usually 5% was more than enough to move a ship far enough away from a station to light up its main drive. But I'd ordered 10% because I knew it would bother Yessian. I had so few joys left in life. Captain, message from Gerson Control, Lin said with a weird measure of excitement in her voice. Happy hunting, Persephone. I wanted to snicker. It was the traditional send-off for a ship leaving station, and I had heard it hundreds of times before. But it suddenly struck me as ridiculous in this situation. First of all, a piece of junk like Persephone wasn't going to be hunting anyone. The best we could do if we encountered trouble was to call in reinforcements and run the other way while we hoped the finicky ion drive didn't crap out on us. And second of all, there would be nothing happy about this voyage. But I sensed that actually laughing out loud would break Lin. She looked so eager and shiny about leaving port that I could almost believe she wanted a dull patrol of the outer system. But whether it was affected or not, she looked spectacular while she sat at her station and watched the forward view screen. So I decided just to enjoy it and not burst her bubble. Engineering, I called, the bridge's AI automatically relaying my voice down to the ship's depths. Is that ion drive ready for me, Chang?
Yes, sir,
came the overly enthusiastic reply from O'Malley, and I couldn't help but shake my head slightly.
Ready when you need her, Captain.
Fine, even if I had been praying that we'd have a last-minute malfunction that would keep us on station for another day or two. Heck, if I was lucky, we would have had a catastrophic failure that would have put us in dry dock for the next 3 months. But apparently I was cursed with a good chief engineer, or just the worst luck of any captain in the history of the King's Navy. Either way, we were due for our date with some random dust cloud out past Gerson's asteroid belt. Maybe we'd see smugglers if we were really lucky, or unlucky from my point of view. Very well. Helm, prepare to go 1/3 power on the main drive, I said reluctantly. Lin twitched at her station as if I'd slapped her.
Sir, don't you think you should say a few words to the crew before we light up the main drive? Maybe tell them our orders? Or introduce yourself?
Ugh. Lin may be hotter than most movie stars I'd ever seen, but she was starting to get a little annoying. Oh, of course, I answered lamely. Open a shipwide channel, please, XO. She nodded and motioned to me that it was done. I hesitated, then started talking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Brad Mendoza speaking. I have taken command of His Majesty's ship Persephone as of, I checked my implant, 1700 hours, yesterday. Our orders are to embark on a routine patrol of the outer system for the next 3 weeks, after which we will return to Gerson Station for resupply and redeployment. That is all. I motioned for Lin to cut the channel. She did so, but I could see from her face that she was disappointed in me. What had she been expecting? Some grand speech?